Why Harry Potter is perfect Christmas movie to rewatch. Harry Potter and New Year's Eve is, for many people, it's as traditional as decorating the Christmas tree and making a wish at the sound of the clock. The books and movies about the boy who survived have given us an image of a fairy tale Christmas. Why does this Christian holiday plays such an important role in the world of magic Let's try to figure it out. If you like our videos about movies, please like this video, like it and share it with your friends. Shopping at John Rowling at Warner Brothers hardly realize how successful project they were launching, and who's Harry Potter? No one about the continues, to be honest. That was once abandoned by over a dozen publishers turned into a massive Harry Potter franchise has grown a generation, and many of us are still waiting for a letter from Hogwarts. A lot of movie adaptations say that the book is better, and the movie version of Harry Potter could also be a shadow of the original tale in the first movie. Had a huge responsibility because the failure of the Philosopher's Stone would have the success of the entire upcoming epic, but Warner Brothers managed to find the perfect director, and it was Chris Columbus, who already had a track record, an undisputed hit that became a classic of the Christmas movie One House at a Time. The director has proven two key things. 1. He can create an atmosphere of a true miracle even in an American suburbia. 2. He's great at working with children, amazingly enough, but the challenges that Columbus faced in Harry Potter were almost exactly the same, albeit on the scale of Home Alone. The director had to create a touching, funny, a story that would bring the whole family, and give them a sense of a fairy tale. The Philosopher's Stone was clearly planned to be the same kind of family movie, without which the Philosopher's Stone could not have happened without, first of all, the casting of the children who play the lead roles. Searched all over the UK, one single misstep would have been the movie would be ruined. The casting of children is very specific, and its main task is to be able to bring out the natural organic nature and to find a way to approach them. Child actors are unpredictable, and direct for them the shooting is a kind of game, so the director becomes the leader in this game. He is obliged to maintain a sincere interest in it. Secondly, the success of the Philosopher's Stone depends on how much the audience will be enchanted by the world of magic and enchantment, in which, for the first time, creating a mood is always one of the most difficult of the director's tasks, and it's a task that is jointly solved by a huge number of specialists, from production designer and costume designer to cameraman and composer. Here again, credit must be given to Chris Columbus, who has been able to assemble a top-notch. The production designer for Harry Potter 1 of Potter was three-time Oscar winner Stuart Craig, who created the very same Hogwarts, the Hogwarts we still dream of going to today. We still dream of going to. Cameraman John Force, another Oscar winner with a talent, has captured the magical world on a movie camera, but the new fairy tale reality had to make a sound. Composer John Williams, a maestro, having composed the music for such movies like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and Schindler's List. He's, out of the talented work of many people, united by a common goal, was born a unique world. One of the most fabulous and enchanting events of this world was Christmas. J.K. Rowling seamlessly blended the world of magic with the Christian tradition. Or not. The writer's first book used many of the elements of the Christmas story, which originated from A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens' classic Christmas story. Has a clear Christian morality as its protagonist experiences a moral rebirth. Think of the evil miser Scrooge from A Christmas Carol. He's in a state of crisis, suffering from the loneliness to which he has condemned himself. In the final scene, however, Scrooge changes and becomes merciful and compassionate. The character's radical change of heart is pushed by an encounter with the supernatural. Fantastic events are another constant element of the Christmas. Scrooge is haunted by the ghosts. Nativity, a fundamental feature of the genre, is family values. In some, the character literally gains family or loved ones. In others, there's a lot of focus on the very idea of unity. Christmas inevitably becomes an event that unites the characters and brings out the best in the characters. among the characters in the Christmas story is usually there is a child who suffers but in the end will definitely be happy. Dickinson's is the boy Tim, who in the end is cured of a serious illness. Christmas stories have three parts: from earth and heaven. In other words, in order to get out of a hopeless situation, the characters go through earthly trials and, in the end, they find happiness. Christianity has had a significant influence on European art, literature, and film in particular. In our All About World Religions course, you learn a lot about different religions and ancient mythologies. In 8-hour bonus lecture, we'll talk about how God is understood, philosophy linking the description as well as the structure of the Christmas story manifests itself in Harry Potter. At the beginning of the story of Harry the Unfortunate, the child boy is lonely and unloved. Life is changed by supernatural powers when his is enrolled in the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and asked to go to the closet under the stairs. He enters another world where he undergoes many trials and eventually finds himself in paradise, both literally and figuratively. Figuratively, in the Deathly Hallows, Harry goes to King's Cross Station in heaven, as well as family in the broader sense of the word, is perhaps the core value of the whole of history. From that point of view, Rowling is also adopts the tradition of the Christmas story and fully embraces Christian morality in the finale of the first. In the final scene of the first movie, Dumbledore tells Harry that he was saved by love, thus labeling Anne as the primary value. She's sacrificed herself for you, and such actions leave a mark. But what about a fundamental element of the genre itself? Christmas, until the plot of Harry Potter is centered around this bright holiday, but it does get a lot of attention. The Harry Potter story is a fairy tale that immerses us in another reality. Christmas is also associated from childhood with a miracle. It turns out that this holiday in Rowling's world is a fairy tale within a fairy tale. Yes, Hogwarts itself is magical, but every winter it still transforms and becomes even more marvelous. Of Christmas at the School of Magic, there are new details. On the one hand, they all refer to familiar traditions on the one hand, and on the other, each one of them is one of real little miracles. Professor Flitwick doesn't just decorate the tree, he uses levitation. Christmas treats appear on the table with one clap from Dumbledore, and the snow is snowing right inside the castle. And Christmas Eve in Harry Potter, it's always a time of warmth and family coziness, so the holiday is served up just as it usually is in Christmas stories, and the warm colors in which that color the holiday scenes emphasize the right atmosphere. The importance of Christmas in the movie is also evident because it has a separate musical theme. Moreover, in the soundtrack of Harry Potter, soundtrack is in principle influenced by the European Christmas musical tradition, Merry Christmas to You. However, Christmas in the movies has changed over time while remaining a significant. How exactly in the Philosopher's Stone do we see that same magical and wonderful holiday? The dressed up Hogwarts, the warm sweaters of Mrs. and the incredible feast in the main hall, all of which would not leave even Mr. Scrooge indifferent. Mr. Scrooge, why does the first movie spends more time on Christmas than the next? Because the main character, Harry himself, is also seen at all for the first time. He's a boy who's never even been greeted on his birthday before. The holiday becomes an event like classic characters in Christmas. He realizes for the first time the value of Christmas. The next movie in which the holiday is even bigger in scale is The Goblet of Fire, in which they organize a Christmas party, a traditional Christmas ball. The heroes of the story are no longer children, about teenagers. That's why Christmas Eve is no longer just a fairy tale feast, but a fun party this time around. Christmas is becoming a key time for Hermione, because it's at the Christmas ball we see her transformation in the 5th installment of the franchise. Christmas is once again used as a reminder of the importance of family. We see a county scene of the family rejoicing. Mr. Weasley's return that same night. Harry, for the last time in the movie, talking to his godfather Sirius. In Half-Blood Prince, the hero once again at the Weasley family's house for the winter, and the last Christmas Eve shown in the movie series takes place. The heroes at Godric's Hollow, the key of the epic. This is where Harry was born. This is where his parents were killed. Compare the nativity scenes of the Philosopher's Stone and the Deathly Hallows. to appreciate how serious the film has become and how his tone has changed, but his values remain the same. Christmas is still a bright holiday that brings loved ones together. The episode at Godricova and the Hollow reminds us more like Andersen's Little Girl with Matches than Harry and Hermione's Christmas Carol are devastated. The world around them is cruel and unfair. They're not part of this bright holiday. Christmas Eve in these cases serves as a vivid counterpoint to the unhappiness that the character is experiencing. Luckily in Harry Potter, it doesn't end tragic as Andersen's before Harry and Hermione are sad. They don't know what to do, but they have each other and they're always there for each other. And what's more, it was on Christmas Day that Ron heard Hermione's voice on the tarot and eventually managed to find his way to his friend's Christmas in the world of Harry Potter. Always reminds us of friendship, love, and family, which is why the movies in the series are so great to revisit on New Year's Eve. Even though we know them by heart. And you're rewatching Harry Potter for the new year. Please write in the comments which installment favorite part